Hey, g'day guys, Sam here from TradeToProspa, doing a live session to see where this is likely to go. And you can see how the Fibonacci really lines up. I took a short today and should have taken a bigger short, but that was my short entry and it was shared on our forum and seems to be working out at the moment anyway. What's going on? If you look at the SP 500, you can see dropping. And you can see, so this chart, US dollar, actually let's do this. Change the color will help. Blue is probably the best. So here's my SP 500 chart on the bottom right corner. We're here our Fibonacci level as well as this moving average, and I think it was the 20 weekly moving average. So that's a good spot to find the confluence, and I'll bet you there is a bearish divergence. Yes, there's bearish divergence in the making, as you can see. So that was a sign that there could be a pullback. The fact that the 20 moving weekly moving average as well as a Fibonacci on 0.5, unfortunately this might be a dead cat bounce, but we'll see. It's come to an area where there's probably support on that fib, but it looks like it might just drop, but you can't get these things really perfect. So that's one aspect. That's why crypto is dropping at the moment and Bitcoin's dropping. And you can see the US dollar on my top left-hand corner going up. And I did warn people about this, that this type of sideways movement is bullish. And we probably look like we're going to do a double, a topping formation, but it's done the opposite. It's gone the other direction, which is an uptrend. Yeah, we're in an uptrend, and chances are that it could still go favor that way, and that's what we got. And I've seen on the mini forums where people are talking about the US dollar doing a topping formation. Maybe at the moment it's hurting a lot of people, and this is my resistance zone. And I've got a bigger chart on this, so we're going to have a look at this US dollar just for short term. And this is my chart. Could be messy. Let's just get rid of the 10 moving average. And okay, so what we have on this, if people don't know about it, on the big picture perspective, we'll just go to the weekly. And I've gone through this, so let's just retouch this. So this is the US dollar index, and the majority of it is against the euro. You can see how you can expect this to be the top. We've got the Fibonacci 1.618, a few things, and this obviously this trend line or this channel all along. So we might still find resistance. It's a strong resistance, but like in the past, it might take a while before it comes down. And this took 2 years. I remember doing this, or 18, I think it was 18, what was it, 880 something days. Just a year and a half, I think, if I do the maths right. So some people are too quick to judge that this is going to just drop. In 2001, I think it was a Y2K stuff. That's what took place. But anyway, so at the moment, that was a clear, to me, that was going to be a clear support level, right? And and I thought we'll go up and down for a while. That was a possibility. And if you look at that closely, get close, you know what? It's not that far off. So when you look at that, yep. So when I do that, circle there, which aligns with that, and I got this from the bottom. I use the bottom as my means of this macro channel. And so we break this channel, but we also have, but when we break that channel, it can also act as support. And what I did was I did my measured move. It hit my 1.618 as well. So it was meant to be a strong resistance, but the 1.414 is still there. And the measured move for this structure is up here, which matches that. So we can probably say that this is wave 3 to 4, well, whatever it is, it actually worked right on my level of support. So this could go sideways for a while. Obviously, I've got my moving averages here on this. So this is the weekly. If I chuck in my 10 and 20 moving average, you can see that, yeah, it's still going to act like support. And we had looks like a strong week. Still, we're at resistance level. So that might help Bitcoin a bit. And we're still looking at, so we do have a bearish divergence, right? That is our bearish divergence. But we've seen in many cases where this just continues on. But I also said on the weekly that we have this as well. And so we did find support. So the weekly is still looking good. And I said, don't be too quick to call it until we see this crossover on the MACD. We have not crossed over. So very similar to here. These are all cradle positions. If you know what cradle trading is, this is a strong move. And each time it hits a 10 moving average. And so this could still go. And this 10 and 20 moving average could still go up. We have strong resistance. If this was to break above, it might actually use this as support and continue on. So the US dollar is still not out of the game. And that could be bad news for the stock market and so on. So this conflict, and for newbies, if you don't know what this is all about, it's about stock being sold as a safety, and the US dollar as a safety area to run to. So having US dollars in some cases when the stock market's dropping like this, what are you going to put into gold, real estate, etc.? And so the US dollar becomes a safety haven, and the likes of the euro and all the other fiat, because of the inflation, is pretty much dropping. They're losing value, and so the US dollar is going strong, but there's going to be a time where it's not. And our goal is to find what that will be, where it will be, and what stocks to buy or what crypto to buy. So I'm looking at that at the moment. And give me a second. I want to just look at YouTube to see if there's any questions. When I go continue forward, let's see where we go. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So that's the US dollar story. And we didn't cover this in extensive for a while. And I thought I'll just do this. And my Fibonacci is really working well. So I took the effort and time to do this. And from a TA perspective, this is right on the money. Question is, can it break this level? And you know, this is parabolic, right? Very parabolic. And there's a point where it might not. So if it hits there, I can see it falling and then probably coming back down, right? So that's the bullish version. And maybe that's where we found the bottom of the Bitcoin or the stock market as well. So that is one scenario. The other scenario is coming back down like that. At the moment, these two scenarios is the only possibilities that we have, or we just go sideways for a while. But I do believe this level is the key. We need to break this level to get the Bitcoin bottom, or we need to pull back and break this level of the 414, this range, to say, okay, that's a local bottom, and then maybe continue on like that. I've got this middle layer. So if the US dollar was to drop, I would see that this one is the next level of support, and then we got this band. So this middle layer, or this 618 layer, or this neckline actually. But I don't see it coming down that quick, not for a while. So that's the theory with the US dollar from a SP 500 perspective, or the stock. We looked at it yesterday, and this was acting as resistance, like we said, and there's the pullback. Now, the pullback is gone beyond that at the moment. It's a 3-day chart. I don't have any indicator on this one. Let's see this one here. So the stochastic is almost crossing over. Let's see that. Yeah, so it's gone bearish. The stochastic, it's crossed over the bearish, and you can see the RSI just coming down, but there is some bottoming formation. But for this to go bullish, I wonder. This is a monthly, by the way. So this is a monthly chart, and the month's not over. This could easily point down. So yeah, so and the monthly's crossed over here as well. So we're early in the month. We'll see how that goes. This one is also the monthly. Let's just flick to the weekly and see what that looks like. Yeah, the ETFs pretty much very similar to the index as well. And yeah, there is nothing bullish about this at the moment. Obviously, we have our weekly level. That's our weekly level there. And that's where we found our resistance. We thought we might actually get a bit higher. But the Fed's news probably just really disappointed the market. So, and this is a 21 monthly moving average. It doesn't look good. This is a level that I was interested in last time. And anyway, that's what's happening. Not looking good. Dow Jones is doing a bit better, but you can see lately. So this is the 4-hour chart. It's actually gone bearish. Bit of rejection at this fib level, and the 200 weekly and the 200 daily moving averages. EMA and SMA. And now I see that's also broken. The RSI is breaking down as well. So the stock market, in many cases, is looking bearish. So let's go to Ethereum. No, let's go back to Bitcoin. Where is it? Okay, so we found obviously there's going to be a bit of support. So this was previous support. This is a 20K round number, psychological number. And maybe we might find some support. But it could just do that. The RSI is definitely on the 4-hour. On the 2-hour, definitely got a rejection. And you can see this. And this is not looking good at all. It's our 1, it's our 2, and this is our third touch. If this doesn't rally, this might rally a bit, and if we get a fourth touch, this means this is eventually going to break. If we get one more, so this is our last third touch. If we get a fourth touch, the odds are that it's going to go down rather than reverse. So what I have here on the small time frame, guys, if you're interested, we'll put our volume profile. This is the point of control. Excuse me. This is our point of control based on this volume here, concentration. It's a method that's well used, and it's in the 618 range, golden pocket. It's the reason why I took a short from there. And what we had, and if you look at this chart, I'll give you, you can learn from this. Let's see how we go. Oh, I didn't want this one here. Give me a sec. We get a Fibonacci. Let's reverse that. Now, when we do this, when the price from the top comes down, you see the golden ratio acting as resistance. And then the further lower it comes down, it didn't quite hit that. It hit the 0.5 here. And the further it goes down, you see the golden ratio become the main area or key level. And you can see how when we bounce there, and you can see that all the other Fibonacci's come along. So once we went up, we pretty much did a double top. This golden ratio is the key level to break. So we just use Fibonacci regularly, and so when we do that and that, again, the golden ratio. So when we found that support, golden ratio finds resistance, and that's why the bears jumped in there and pushed it down. This is the main indicator that's bearish. This move and the strength that they came down is very strong. Yep, we found support here, but just like I used the golden ratio method, all I did was do this, and again a bit of a spike, but again the golden ratio acted. There's a double top there. This is a 5-minute chart, and it works. So if you can do this on a regular basis, you could probably make a bit of money, but you just got to take your chances. But this motion here made it bearish for me, and so we just continue on. Now the last bit, which was the Fed report, that was nasty. So if we move that up again, let's just move this away from the bottom to the top. Again, the golden ratio. I was sleeping at the time, but this was nasty because it wicked down first and then went up. But so the bears that were waiting here, and you can see that level equates to that level, and bang, golden ratio. So now that was an ascending line there, and we broke that, and you can say that was again confluence that was going to be another rejection spot, and we did the golden ratio again. Bit of a tutorial, I suppose this is. So where's the top for this? Actually, I'll use this one right here. There was a candle there when it was rejection, and it again. So if I do this, you will see it wicked down and then came back up, and that was my spot to put my Fibonacci right there. And then again, the golden ratio, and like I said, and then this trend line actually makes it easier. Now what's going to happen? Well, we can do the golden ratio status again, put that there, and you can see how this becomes the main resistance. So if this was to bounce, let's just do that. Let's delete all this. I suppose I hate messy charts. That was actually a good good bounce there. So you can see how this worked out. It found the 618 as support and dropped. And now, if this was to go up, this is where it's going to be a real test. If it breaks this, then we could probably say it's a double bottom and it might just continue on. But then we've got a lot of hurdles. This is going to be the main hurdle there. Now let's see how this works out. We'll find out soon if it does something similar to that. In the meantime, we need to keep our eye on this and see what that's doing on a time frame. And you can see how it really lines up. A bit of a rejection there. It's also got this trend line or this channel, so it's going to be a resistance. How much? Don't know, but that might give the likes of these guys a chance. Let's see. That wasn't the chart I was after. It was this one actually. Got to go back to the 4. And let's look at this one on a small time frame. That's a 4 hour. I'd like to see on the 1 hour, what is it doing? And what we're looking for is a reversal structure, and not there yet. So what we have on the 1 hour, and you can see this, the 10 and 20 moving average is now starting to act like resistance. Until we see that 10 and 20 ribbon broken, then we can go to a bigger time frame and then have a look. But for the time being, it's definitely bearish. We might get a bit of a bounce here because we've got a bit of support. So we might see a reversal short term, and we'll see what takes place. The other aspect, and I probably forgot to mention, I did this in my other chart. I did actually count the Elliott wave as well. So the Elliott wave was also a good way of measuring it. So I did my Elliott wave count. I was here when I made the call in our group, saying that this is going to pull back, and it's wave 3 to 4, and wave 5 is roughly there. And I got it right. Let me brag about this one. Where are we? There we go. So I did call it right. Wave 5, and I called that I'll enter the short. So you can see how that is in our group. Sometimes when time permits, and you can see my commentary. And then we keep track. So and other stuff as well. So, and then we're keeping track of it, just giving some updates to the group, and then we'll also get amazed by something like that. We've don't know what, and Meta. So we put what we can, additional information, and so we keep track of this. So come and join our group. It's 10 days for free, and if you want to continue, if you benefit from it, you can subscribe, and it's pretty cheap. And let me see what my brother's saying here. The sides are determined to get rid of anyone in the. Okay. Jeez. And we've got off topic. All right. So this is what we have right now. And for Bitcoin, right? So I did my channel. So this is still a 5-minute chart. You got to look at it from many perspectives. I've covered this topic, and I call this the hammer there. That's where we shorted. Should I take a bit of profit? Probably so. And if it drops, then I'll add more to it. But it's definitely a level where we're going to find support. I'm not confident that it's going to go high. And you can see this structure. So we had this structure here, and it's broken down this structure there. Now this, we'll look at it as from a sideways channel. The big picture, let's look at the big picture, and I covered this yesterday. So this is, you can see that. It's a macro structure, a channel, and maybe we'll hit this bottom of the channel before we get a bounce. Don't know. This is one, and yesterday I covered, I think it was yesterday, a significant portion of my TA from a different perspective, not this one. This is another one. Yep. So we have this big upward channel, and you can see how this acted as resistance in that bottom part. So we found, and then we broke it. So this line here becomes a main resistance level coming forward. But I think, so if you know about channels, it's about trend. And this is a downtrend at the moment. And we need to break this channel to actually say, okay, the bull market started. So I'm looking at this, I don't know why that moved, but for the bull market to start, we need to see this channel broken. So we might go sideways, we could probably, whoops. So I'm giving another perspective from a macro. We could potentially go there and down, or even higher, and then come back down, type of thing. If it drops from here, then we've got this level based on this channel. I've got other ways of measuring it, but I won't go into the details. And then we could go sideways for a while before we break the channel. The moment we break this channel, this is another perspective. This is when we need to be bullish. If this was to go sideways like that for some time, and it wouldn't surprise me in 2024 is what I'm expecting for the bull market to start. 2023, I expect it to be bearish, like the stock market. And anyway, that's what I think. At the moment, we want to see what we can do here and what we can trade. Now, let me look at any questions. Any questions? No questions. Okay. Merhaba. Nasılsın, iyi misin? Any updates on optimism? All right. So we will look at optimism because I haven't looked at it. Actually, I haven't looked at it as well. Give me a sec, and let's look at optimism. Oh, my shortcuts. So let's see how we go. This is one of my charts on optimism. Oh, okay. It's playing around, isn't it, with the channel? I thought we might actually go further. This does look like a small term wave. So this looks like wave 5, all right? If we look at this, look at so 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5. And what we're having is a correction of some sort, A, B, C. So we might go bullish, potentially, and do another wave 5 and go up to $1.40. That is one scenario, as long as we don't capitulate. Let me look at another optimism chart. Let's see. This is my macro picture. And very similar. It is the main resistance at the middle of the channel. Okay. So when to go bullish? If you haven't entered, I'm still holding mine. This level. If we break that level, then I do say we'll go to the next level up. So if this is the bottom and there's a squeeze up to a point, but if it drops this fib level, then I do see it coming back down to the next fib level. But in my opinion, this could be bullish, and we can still go to that level and then back. That might be the target. One way of doing this, give me a sec. It's gone white for some reason. Why is it white? I got no idea. Okay, so it does the next level, if it was the breakup, will be roughly there, the middle of this channel, aligned with that. So yeah, the best we can probably do is go to the 0.5 fib level. So that's it's probably the best we can do if we were to break this level, be bullish. So this is a daily chart. Let's look at the RSI, see if it's giving us any clues as to we can measure this. And I'll put the Phoenix as well on the daily. Let's see. Okay. It's very close, actually. This is telling me it's very close. Because the red line is pretty much nearly 50%. If it drops below, then this green will come down. We don't have momentum to the upside at all, this orange part, but let's look on a 12-hour. Let's see what 12-hour does. The 12 hours got a bit of momentum to the upside. The RSI is definitely not helping us. So this is our 50% level on the 12-hour. If the RSI drops below that, we're going down. So keep an eye on that, and I would say that's a level. If we drop that level, the RSI will also drop it, and then it's going to be down. Could have been a good short position shortly, but yeah, it's a hard chart to decipher. So yeah, that's how we look at it. What I can do, if people are interested in these charts, I'll share some of them. If you want me to share some of them, just mention it, and you can get a copy. So, and then by the end of the day, I'll just change it. So I can share this one if you're interested. I'll put in the commentary section, and you can make use of it. Here we go. Where's the commentary? On TradingView. Okay, give me a sec. What's going on here? I can't. Okay, I can't do that. I'll put on YouTube. TradingView blocks it. So here's the link on Facebook. I'm sorry, YouTube, and you can get that link if you're interested with my Fibonacci. But yeah, so if you want copies of certain charts, I can do that as well. I'll leave it for a few hours for those people, and I'll come back to it and just remove the sharing. All right, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, see what it's doing. Small time frame does come in handy. So I would just say, what does this represent? I do expect a bottoming formation to take place, and but the question is, how high can it go? Like I said, the Dixie's, where is it? This one here. We've got a bit of resistance. If it pulls back a lot, that's going to be enough for Bitcoin to go up. Looking at this chart from, yeah, it doesn't fit any strategy, to tell the truth. So this could be a continuation pattern like that. It looks like a channel, yeah. or wedge. So it did break out, but when you have a wedge like that, it's always, in most cases, it's a channel. You can just imagine the channel. So what you do is just put that and just bring it up, and I'll just color it. And then you can imagine, see how it works? Just even if there's a descending wedge and you break out, you make it a channel, just put your lines in there, and you can see where the resistance is. Yeah, that is if this is a wedge and it does go bullish, like if this wedge plays out, in a bear market it's very hard, but the target is the top of this wedge here. So this might just swing back, use this level of support and swing back up, but you want to start seeing a green candle or a cup shape before you go into it. And I would say that's where a bit of resistance, and I'll put my stop loss there if I was you, in case it just drops back down. But that's how I'll trade that one. So on a small time frame, it's holding, it's not doing much. So the rest, I think most of actually the SP 500, even if that doesn't go down or just stays, that others will still be bearish, I would imagine. But yeah, you can see that that's not going anywhere. There's no reversal structure yet. Here I also have the total market cap, and this trend line, if you look at it carefully, is acting as resistance. So, and then we've got these 200 moving averages on the daily. So even if we were to go bullish, we've got this moving average coming across, we've got the 200s coming, it's going to be nasty. That's going to be a hard area to pass if we were to go bullish on the total market cap. And you can see that probably take formation. What do I have here? So let's look at this total market cap, and I'll just move this. I wish I could do it in another way, but that's trading view. It's getting better. So here's my total market cap of some key levels, and this trend line. So we've got the weekly 200 moving averages. What's this one? That's the EMA. And what's this one? That's the SMA. And there's one more. Let me just make this into the RMA. You'll see the RMA come down. So that could be where the target is, this RMA. You can see how that took place and very close to that as well. So that's why I got this orange line. And previous top, we haven't quite get there yet. So we might just drop and then go up. Bit of a fake out and then up. And that might be our wave. I'm not sure if I can say that, but wave 1, 2, 3, 4, wave 5. And then we'll get an ABC correction. So it's very possible that we could drop down to that level for a bullish move. And you know what? It does fit a formation. You know, this is hypothetical plan, and if it works out, you execute. So that if it was to come down, you can see that potentially, and you can see this line, right? This is actually not bad. That could be a bullish move right there for total market cap to go. And we can, if this was to take place, I would think that would be a good position to buy for the total market cap perspective. And the Bitcoin is pretty much similar with the RMA, but we are about to drop. So if we look at Bitcoin, where are we? Let's look at Not that one. Actually, before I go on, let me see where it is. That's not the one. That's the other chart I was looking at today. So if we go below this mean, so we've got this, what is it, a daily, and we've got this pretty much like a Bollinger Band. And you can see right there and there, for the indicators as well, this band touched the top of it, and we found resistance. What's going for this is still bullish. The bottom of this band is still pointing upwards, but the top is rounding off, which is not a good sign. So it might start turning around. And this line here, if we break that from this strategy perspective, then we're going to come to the bottom of this band, and the band could keep going downwards, right? As things come down. So this is what we need to be careful of. So what shows us that this is bearish at the moment? My Phoenix indicator. If these two others come down, that means we've broken that, and this is going to be bearish. Below 50% is bearish. We also have this wave trend that's already crossed over, so it's not looking good. You can see the previous top crossed over, so this is likely to be pointing down. At the moment, it's already started to point down, and the RSI might come down to this level or break down. So wherever that is, this is the daily chart. So the RSI is not looking great either. From the daily indicator, there's some bearishness, and the candlesticks aren't complementing it either. So we've got 3 candlesticks, 4 really, and even if we get a little green one, it could still continue down. So short-term bearish signs, but not out yet. We're not until we close this on the daily below this, and it's still, the game's still there for the bullish move. It could still go up. All right. The daily level is still our main resistance, and until we break that, don't go bullish. And if we break the daily support level here, then that's when we go bearish. When we really go bearish is when we lose this RSI on the daily. And if this was to come down below 50% of the wave trend, if it goes below it, then be bearish. See how that's really negative, right? You can see the examples whenever we go in the negative level, it's just bearish. All right, so that's that. And let's see what we got here. Just Fibonacci levels. Looking at that, moving averages are coming down. All right, so let me have a look at a few comments. Altcoins, which altcoins are good to buy? I'm on the sidelines for now. Cash waiting for doomsday scenario. Okay, so I have a short list. This is my shopping list. It's not the complete. Let me see where it is. Whoops. Accumulation list. This is my accumulation list here. Whole bunch of them. They all have different perspectives, I suppose. Let's see if I can increase this, guys. So just give me a sec. You're probably better seeing that. There we go. This is my shopping list. Solana is one of them. Optimism, Nia, I'm really favorable. Matic. These are all the Ethereum peripherals, like Optimism. Arbitrary is, if it comes out, that's definitely a good one to buy. It's not out yet. So arbitrary, if it comes out next year or even later this year, that is the one I'm really looking into. I think that's going to be the next big winner, arbitrary. Optimism is second to that, and Matic. Those are the ones. GMX I'm interested in. GNS, I'm not GNI, GNS. I've got to find where GNS is here. Let's just add GNS there. That's missing. Definitely, but it's hard to buy. That's the only thing you got to buy it from. Quick swap, I think it is. Cardano, I'm interested in that as well. Uh, TrueBit is one of my. Actually, let's see what TrueBit doing. I haven't looked at it for a while. People that follow me look at TrueBit as well. Where is it? Here we go. It's not the chart. There we go. Let's see what TrueBit's doing. TrueBit, if you don't know about it, guys, there was 5 people who were involved in the Ethereum project, and out of those 5, you got Vitalik, who is still with Ethereum. Then you got the Cardano guy. I can't remember his name now. So he left the Ethereum group and started his own Cardano. The other one did the Polkadot. So you got 3 guys doing their own stuff, and then you got these 2. So Gavin Woods, I think, was doing Polkadot, and then these 2 guys left over. I can't remember their names. I'm not good with names. They created TrueBit, and so TrueBit is not on any exchange. So when it makes the exchange, it's gonna. I believe it's one of those big winners. I tweeted a few things about it. So TrueBit is one of my big ones that I think could go really big. You can see this. So TrueBit is on just the decentralized exchanges, Uniswap and all the rest. And if the day comes where it's going to go onto the exchanges, I think it will do really big. It's been holding this level, but you can see when it first came out. So I traded this. I was lucky enough to come. I came in around here. I saw this structure and I said, "Yep." And so that went up to close to $1. So now it's back to about 12 cents, and I've averaged in. If it drops down further, if it drops down here, I'm definitely buy 4 cents, 5 cents. So I'm looking at this, and this macro triangle. I'm thinking, yeah, if this comes down here, it's going to either spike there or come down, and then back up. So long term wise, I think TrueBit's another one. Mina is another one. So I missed this one. Bugger. I really I looked at it too late. It's pretty clear that it's an easy trade when it breaks out like that. And FTM today, that's right. FTM, let me have a look what's FTM's on. There's it's on a YouTube title. The main man, he came back to FTM. I can see Bitcoin looking weak at the moment. Let's see where FTM is at the moment. Spike with his name mentioned. Look at that. Just because his name was mentioned, that he's come back to the team. Andre something his name was, and that spiked it. It spiked 26% just because of that tweet. So Andre's coming back to the FTM team, and FTM was pretty good. There's no reason why we can't. It's not going to be. So it's on my shopping list. That's not nice. When you change the ratio, it's all It loses track, but here we go. So FTM looks like a bottom formation, right? The main issue with FTM at the moment is this 618 level, the golden ratio, right there. It needs to break that to start being bullish. So it spiked above it. It is dropping, so it's like unlikely to close above it. So, but yeah, FTM is another one that I'm pretty interested in. Now let's look at Ethereum. What's Ethereum doing? Ethereum is definitely long-term one. Not really. It's like the Bitcoin scenario, really. Let's look at another chart. That's Ethereum against Bitcoin. Just showing that, just studying this chart. Give me a sec and I'll grab Ethereum from another chart. Let's see how we go. No, that's not it. Too big. So I was looking at Ethereum today. That was a good shorting position. This one really spiked up, so that was nasty. But if we look at Ethereum, and I'm just going to change this and change the bigger picture. So that was my trend line. Ever so, it's very touch and go there. Let me see if there's another one. There's a real comprehensive one. I've got too many that I haven't deleted. Is that the weekly? It's not the chart I was after. The weekly is pretty bullish though. You can see if Ethereum breaks this level, this trend line, it's going to be bearish. So it hit the golden ratio. So let's look at the 3 days, probably better. So the golden ratio, if I just drag this across, it's finding as the main resistance. And this is still a strong move. It might, yeah. So this is going to, for Ethereum, this is the main resistance level. And if you look across, this was the macro structure, and this was a surprise to the fact that it went above. But I think that this was about the forking, and so it pushed it. And once the upgrade was done, it did that. I was prepared for that one, so happy to do that move. Should have shorted much more though. It wasn't. Anyway, so when we look at this structure for Ethereum, this is the real neckline, and then there's I suppose another neckline that's more relevant for the time that it had, and so there's two levels. It's a bit very complicated, but it fits the model of distribution. So this is a top distribution. Once we lost that, it's pretty much down. That to me, I think that was the bottom. To tell the truth, I still believe this could be the bottom, and Ethereum might just do, if it's a bit bullish, it might just do this, play this level and this channel for some time. Maybe you can, but when we break it, it's likely to retest that, and then I think it will just go sideways for a while like that. if this is the bearish scenario, yeah. So if it's a bearish scenario, it might just retouch here, and this fits into our macro Wyckoff accumulation model in some sort. So I do think this could be possible, or this here up there, if this is true. So this is gonna be a hard one. And if the market's bearish, then it's just gonna drop. But this is where this trend line is pretty much where you gotta go bearish if it drops that. Understanding the bigger picture is pretty important, and it's not hard. Just look at the Wyckoff charts if you don't know about them, and that's it. So I'm thinking maybe this is what it's going to do along these lines, give or take, some version of this. So we've done this, I think, selling climax, and we've done this up to there. We've come down here, a secondary test. So we might just come up here again, yeah, or even here, and then come back down. And that's where I'm thinking if it comes back down, it might come back down there and then back up. It's just a theory at the moment, but the theory pretty much says this trend line is very important. So if we drop that, it's definitely going to look for the spring. The spring could be further down too, by the way, just because it's selling climax is there. It's okay for the spring to be further down, even to these levels. So the worst case scenario is that it can come down to the 600, 700, 800 range and then back up. But I don't know when that's going to happen. That could happen easily next year. This could still play out, and then next year it comes back down, and this is where I'm going to go in big time for Ethereum. Let's look at any questions on TradingView. No questions on YouTube. Okay, I'm on the sidelines for now. Yep. That's probably what I've got for now. And I'll look at these charts. If you don't know about them, you probably want to start getting good at these charts as well. This is a heat map, and it's showing that there's a lot of support. So this is open interest. Open interest kept dropping. This is bearish, open interest. All right. That's why we knew it's going to drop. What I had was on open interest, this is a flat level. And the moment so you can see there's not much strength. Where's the pen? Here we go. So around here with Bitcoin, you can see once it dropped that, and even though it's gone up, it's a divergence, a bearish divergence, and then that's why we dropped. Now we're finding some support. It's a sensitive thing. And if I go in closer, you will see, for those who haven't seen it, let's go in closer. And you can see these are the orders. So the yellow is high intense orders there. Where is this? There we go. This is the heat map, and these are orders coming in, and there's big. So the brighter is, the more volume of the orders there are. There is another chart, if I can find it. Okay, let me see where I can find it. Give me a sec. I rebooted my machine, that's why I lost it. I need to open that up, and let's see how we go here. Haven't looked at this since yesterday. Okay, it's just number of shorts, longs. And that's daily. I don't want daily. I want the 4 hour. So what we'll do is we've got the shorts and the longs. Open interest. Not the best. Just a look. So the longs have kicked in. Definitely the longs are coming back in, but they sort of stopped. So these are all the short. So the long entries going long kept dropping off as this went down. So there's not much volume to go long, but there's an entry to go long here. This one here is net shorts. Shorts are also going sideways. So it's not really conclusive. Here we had open interest to go long, and here we had shorts interest. So shorts were increasing, giving it as a bearish. So what we had was pretty much a bearish divergence with so this is going sideways or slightly up, but the shorts were increasing, and the longs were decreasing. So there wasn't much strength there. So using this chart comes to an advantage as well. Right now it's in limbo at the moment. We had a bit of a long, but this is a 4-hour chart. There's nothing much there now. Sort of just stopped on a pause. Okay. So it's there. I lost that one. And let's see what's the volume. Nothing special either direction. Yeah, nothing. Okay, 63 million. So the longs are kicked in there. That's what's green, I suppose. But the volume is nothing special. Total 71 million, 18 million. Nah, we used to have bigger numbers there. Let's see. All right, that's that there. Let's look at other charts. So FTM is still doing what it's doing. I missed this trade, that's for sure. I called it out too. So I'll probably find support. Let's look at a few charts. That's ADA. Let's see what ADA's doing. ADA, that was a good entry, that's for sure. And ADA's finding this level difficult to pass. So you can see this trend line, and ADA's trying to pass that. It's finding it difficult. So I would say if you want to get into ADA now, either wait for it to come back down, and that'll be a good entry. And if this gets to break this level and this horizontal level, then that's bullish, and I think they'll take off. And this one's really, Aptos really disappointing. Okay, so wave 5, hopefully that's our bottoming formation here, entry. I'm counting as wave 5, but the thing is wave 5 could also be down here as well. But I got the 1.618, so I'm hoping this is accumulation area and then back up again. Algo is a bit difficult. So you can see here that we've broken this macro trend line, this massive trend line, and it went up, but it didn't do not much really. Just came back down. Still a good move, but these are the ones you got to trade when they break out. I just see this going sideways for a while, and it's trying to hold the 618 level. So it might continue, but you see this trend line, it's not the best. You could probably just find it needs to break that trend line, and then we'll have this upper one. Not the best of charts. AVE might have a chance, and for me, AVE, if it breaks this line, I think I'll be interested. So it's got a bit of a apex. It's either going to go down or it's going to break up. Very similar to Bitcoin. This is AVAX. Other one's Avalanche, sorry. And this is a small time, and yeah, that would have been a good shorting position. Chili's is looking good. Found its resistance, but this is the thing about Chili's. This is the bottom, short term accumulation. It bounced and it found the support on the 200 moving average. And again, so to me, this is accumulation and potentially a move to the upside. But we've got this level of the middle as the resistance. But this, to me, could easily go a bit more further up and then back down. You can see how I've aligned Chili's like that. If I put the log, it's probably different. I think I got it from there, didn't I? I think Chili's is. This is like I do believe Chili's is wave 1, 2. I think this is wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 is going to be really bullish. So Chili's is, I think, is a good one to buy. I think this is a reaccumulation structure, a continuation. So that's the bottom, that's the top. Whatever it does in the middle, eventually it's going to continue up. So yeah, that would have, if it drops below this level or the 618, then I'll say it's invalidated as a wave 3 and 4. But to me, this is a macro continuation reaccumulation pattern. BNB is the one that is really good. Go along with BNB is my advice. If we look on the bigger picture, against Bitcoin, it's done really well. I think this is it's here's the main reason why I think it's doing really well. This is the neckline. And I've put a red there for a sec. Until it hasn't broken this neckline at all. Well, all the other structures have, and I'm thinking along the lines of this. Where we go? Let's go weekly. Macro wise, I think this is wave 3, 4, and again wave 5. Potentially, I think the target is like 2,500. To tell the truth. So we're looking at this structure like that, and it's invalidated if we drop below these 200 weekly moving averages, pretty much. But otherwise, I think it's a wave 3 to 4, and wave 5 could even go to the 1.414. So these are the ones that I'm looking at. BNB is going to be huge, I think. And I'm not going to go through all those. Let's see FTM the last bit. Okay. Solana was Solana's in a channel, in my opinion. You can see how I'm looking at this. and we've got this neckline. So if it breaks that neckline, it's going to go. I think this is where wave 5 might come down to. If this is wave 3 to 4, wave 5 might come down to here, $13 or something, and that's my area of interest. Or if it breaks this channel. And I'm going to wrap it up on that, guys. Let me just see if there's any questions. No questions. I'm just going to continue on and enjoy the rest of the night. So thanks for joining. Please subscribe and come and join our group. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.